First, I want to give a shout out to the interpreters because what you do.
Oh, yeah.
Give one of these guys. Give one of these. There you go. That's how we applaud for them.
And I just want to ask, so after the show started airing, what was one fan instance when you were out like in the real world that made you say like, okay, this show's a hit?
I think I remember filming at this school in the San Fernando Valley, and we took over like part of the school, and there was just teenagers surrounding the fence line around from where we were shooting, and I think that was like, it might have been the end of the first season, and then it just sort of built up from there, and we're like, oh wow, I
It
guess.
was really exciting.
I mean, I remember with Matt, you were there, it was you, me, and Jesse. I think we were in Colorado. We went to like a mall tour, and it was just like, I mean, we were just excited we went to the mall. But like, there were like so many people, and it was for YM Magazine. It was like this big deal, and it was a moment where like, oh, this is weird.
I would take my daughter to volleyball games, and of course that's the age group, and it was just swarming. And then of course, if you went to Disneyland, the neat thing was we really we needed a VIP pass because we couldn't be in line. It was just, you know, which as a performer, you're deep inside, you're sort of happy, like wow, but it's also, you know, sort of scary sometimes. And David, right, at school, how was it out in Santa Clarita?
I mean, it was. I always went to school down in the valley back then. Actually, on my days off, I'd have to go to school, and so. But I'm happy that I got that experience of like going to regular schools throughout the show and making friends that way and stuff. The story for me about when it kind of hit me that the show was a really big deal is one time I went to it was a movie premiere for like a horror film. I went with my dad, and me and my dad were going to go watch this horror movie, and it was at Universal City Walk, and we parked way on the other side, and we were walking down the City Walk, and I saw these girls come out of a store, and they had these like red sweaters on, and they like looked at me and pointed, and I was like, oh. And then it turned around, and these other girls in red sweaters came out of the store and like looked at me and pointed. And then it was like all the stores had these girls in red sweaters that were coming out. It was like an all-girls school field trip.
Oh,
They were all my age, and they all kind of bum rushed me. And my dad just grabbed me by like the nape of the neck and like picked me up. And like, my dad's a big dude, and he just like hustled and ran down the sidewalk. Over their shoulder, and we get to the reader in the back of City Walk, and I just remember being like, oh God, we're gonna die.
That's so funny.
And that was the first time anything like that had ever happened to me, and it was wild. I'll never forget it. It was wild.
Wow, that's Mac. What was your realization?
I'm just listening. I don't know if I had one. No. I did. I mean, I was just used to, I didn't really know anything else other than that.
This was just her life, so it was normal.
Yeah, like I was 5 when we shot the pilot, I think. And, you know, I just thought it was normal life. Like you brush your teeth every day and
then you
you
go
go
to
out in public and you see people chase you around, and then you just try to go in a different lane in whatever store you're in, and you're always really nice, and it's like, for me, it's you know, it was normal.
Wow.
I don't know.
It's true. For us, it was just normal.
It's just normal, and
not
everyone's
normal.
always
It's
really
not
nice. I've never had a bad experience.
You never had a bad experience?
No, everyone was so sweet and so nice, and it was just peachy, to be honest.
nice. Great question. Next up, we have.
I'm Kristen from Jersey Shore, and my question is, not watching it like from being a kid and now an adult, like some things I didn't fully understand, but one scene that always kept me cringe was when Mary wanted to make out with her fictional brother, Matt. That just made you cringe when you rewatch it now, that you didn't understand when we were kids.
Wait,
But we knew when it was even better.
Yeah, I knew that. I was like, I don't want to do this. And I found out from Brenda, the creator, that it was Aaron insisted on having that scene in for something.
that was the only time I ever questioned Aaron's creativity. Because I was like, this would never happen. I don't think.
Wow, that is weird.
I never thought it was weird at all.
Yeah.
You just skip that page. You just skip it.
Did you make out?
Of course, back then, Jesse probably wanted to.
Of course.
Good question. Next up, we have.
Hi, I'm Andrew from Milwaukee. Who was your favorite of the recurring characters on the show? Like Deborah Raffin, Richard Lewis, Andrew Keith?
Richard Lewis.
Richard
He lit up
Best.
amazing.
He was so great, so great.
Thank you.
Richard was amazingly sweet.
Ed Begley had a cool car though. My mom's like, this car's electric.
Wait, hold on, he used to ride his bike.
Yeah, he used to ride his, but he had.
He did, he
Yeah,
started riding his bike.
Yeah, well, okay, but still.
Very much an environment.
For me, early on, when we had the grandparents on, my mom was so excited that Peter Graves was coming onto the show.
Mission Impossible.
So I went out back then to get a brand new VHS of Mission Impossible, and I had him sign it for my mom. And she came in when he first came on the set, and I took a picture with him and stuff, and it made me proud to because I was working with, and I didn't know who he was. He was a great guy and was nice to me, but I didn't know his career, and it meant so much to my mom. So it was,
Yeah, that's
I
really
love his voice too.
yeah, he had a great voice.
We had a lot of great guest stars, famous
I just
people.
found out this weekend about some guest stars that I didn't
None of them are
realize.
here.
Like multiple.
Yeah, actually, everybody else that's at this con,
I'm
at
sorry,
one
sorry.
time, all were stars are set.
It's true.
Great question. Next up.
Hi, I'm Ashley from Indiana. My question is, if the show is still on the air, or if there's any kind of reboot, where do you guys see your characters?
I have no idea.
What did you say?
Where do
Lost
you
in
see your
Lost.
characters now? Where would your character be now?
In a
He's
home.
on parole. I have an ankle bracelet. The beeps.
I think the plan for Simon was always that he was going to be a businessman of some kind. Simon always had a hustle. He was the man,
Yeah.
he's the Iron Man, right? So I think he probably,
I don't know, I think Lucy would be divorced too.
Have you guys all loved Kevin? No?
Who said no? We have time for one more.
No!
All right, next up we have.
You see the sign of going over.
I was like,
Let's just go real fast.
Daniela from Boston, and I just wanted to know for you guys your favorite episode that you had filmed during the time that you were, showed and aired.
Mine was the pilot.
Yeah.
Just because that was when we kind of first, everything gelled. That's when we all, it all sort of, the
That's-
chemistry all kind of came together in that episode. And honestly, we were working all the time, or I was working all the time. I barely saw the other episodes. So I would say for me the pilot episode.
It's hard because it was so much of our life that it's like, it wasn't episodes for us. It was like
Like one long-
it was
one
one
big thing,
big
yeah.
long
Halloween.
experience of life.
Halloween.
That was fun. I was a dog one of those years, I think. I like the one with my stepsister, and I got to ride horses. That was sweet.
She's a real horse.
I fell off actually, because they had a camera in the grass, and horses like spook at everything because of the prey animals, right? And the camera's like clicking away like a snake, and the horse spooks, and I just go right over its head.
Oh.
And I popped up really quickly because I was like, I'm all right. I wanted them to let me do it again, but my mom was like, she's like, you should have just laid there. 30 seconds.
Thank you.
The episode I remember really well because it was the most unique had working on the show was when Simon got drunk. And at the time, I had never been drunk. So, I remember the director talking to me and saying, I want you to watch a movie, I want you to watch Arthur.